was out?
From the questionable, I think Gigi, he'll be ready to go. Had a good shoot around. Anticipating Luke and Jitty out today. Hopeful for tomorrow.
Coach, Zaire, it's kind of been an up and down year for him with injuries, but since he's come back from the injury, he's played really well. What have you seen in the last 3 or 4 games since he's come back from the hand injury that you've liked?
Yeah, I mean, what really jumped off the page is his defensive activity. I thought we felt his presence a lot, especially the other night in Minnesota. Obviously, he's having his spurts where, you know, the three-point shots going in. Obviously, I want him to continue being aggressive from the three-point line. Way he's running the floor, you know, trying to get those lobs, get those, you know, early attacks in transition, quick decisions on closeouts. I think he's, you know, making some good progress there last couple of games. But defensively, I just really love his on-ball defense right now, avoiding screens, getting through multiple efforts, you know, just kind of disruptive nature, you know, on the ball, one-on-one situations. I thought he did a really good job of that. The other night, I think he had 3 different perimeter matchups that were priorities, Edwards, Conley, especially. So I thought he did a really good job there, and I continue to challenge him to do that. The fact that he's been doing that consistently the last couple of games is really good to see.
I know Trey, when he came from another G League system, got here, so how important was the first impression that landed him on the two-way, and what do you remember about, you know, those early exchanges?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he started off on a 10-day. You know, we were kind of evaluating potential opportunities. You know, can a 10-day grow into a two-way opportunity? As obviously, Vince has taken the next step. GG, obviously, got rewarded to take the next step as well with contracts. You know, the thing that stands out is he plays so hard. You know, he works so hard. He's adaptable to a lot of different roles. Obviously, you know, it's kind of a numbers game right now, and I think he's carried a really good professionalism. But as soon as he came in, just using his voice, going hard in every single drill. You know, the screen setting was something that we really emphasized when we were evaluating, you know, some bigs that were coming through on 10 days. The offensive rebounding, another piece, you know, screening and rolling. It takes time to develop chemistry. You know, that's the thing that we've been working on is, you know, his screening angles with our guards, you know, who's handling in pick and rolls. Is it Jaren at the big spot, you know, handling a little bit more now? Different guards, you know, Vince, Luke, Zaire, hopefully Gigi more. And it just takes some time, but I think he's doing a good job trying to have a physical mentality there, free up the guards, roll, go make the winning plays on the offensive side, getting loose balls, offensive rebounds, and then defensively, I think he's taken, you know, some small steps game by game, figuring out our system. The fact that he's vocal and he's engaged has allowed him to go out there and try to execute as best as possible. Now he's going to continue to put in the work, making sure the execution is on point consistently.
Taylor, do you like this back-to-back arrangement with the same team?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something, the NBA's done it probably, the last 3 years or so, maybe 4, you know, dating back to COVID. I think it's unique. You know, I think the league tries to strike the right balance of, you know, not overdoing it. You know, obviously we've got back-to-back games at home. That's one thing to save on travel. You know, obviously trying to, you know, make that a priority league-wide, but playing the same opponent, you know, whether it's a home and home or, you know, twice in the same building, I think it's unique. I mean, I don't think we've played an opponent twice in this situation. Obviously we had Portland, you know, twice early in the season and now in this set of back-to-backs. I think it helps you, you know, from a game-to-game standpoint, like really build on and not just kind of close the door in the last game, you're ready for a new opponent. You know, everyone talks about kind of mini playoff series, you know, preparation. It's just a different way to go about your scouting. And then, you know, what are the takeaways you can take from the last game and immediately apply it to the exact same opponent? I think it's a nice balance, you know, throughout. I think you get maybe 3-4 times throughout a season. You know, hopefully it's here to stay. I think it does help you not just from a travel standpoint, but from just kind of a scouting, you know, approach, you know, just from a coaching tactic, you know, being able to really get these guys to take takeaways from the previous game and really immediately apply it to the same opponent. I think it's a unique thing.
Taylor, so just with these injuries, you know, we've talked a lot about different guys being on ball, but what does it also do, the fact that they are on ball a lot while also trending higher in the scouting report than they usually been? Like I know Zaire had a lot of reps against like Jaden McDaniels, like a really good defender. What do you think that does for their confidence and development?
Are you talking about more of our guys offensively, right?
Yes,
you know, becoming, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's huge. I mean, I've been in Vince's ear a lot. I think he's done some really good things, but you can see how teams are game playing a little bit more against him, showing more crowds. I think he's done a really good job coming off, playing with patience, trying to find that kind of intermediary, you know, spot on the floor, whether it's getting all the way down to the rim or kicking out, you know, cross court to, you know, corner threes and wing threes. You start seeing teams more apply a little bit more pressure with that, you know, screener defender, more guys helping, off of, shooters, and he's having to kind of navigate that. I still want him to be aggressive, coming down, physical, using what, is a strength of his. But, Zaire, for example, him getting those reps for sure, other teams' best defensive players getting put onto them in one-on-one situations, and then just kind of seeing what teams are throwing at them. A lot of times you think it's a drop coverage or a switch coverage, but now you start seeing teams kind of double teaming a little bit more and being a little bit more like a flat hedge or aggressive coverage on them. So I think it's great. These guys having to make those reads, then they can take it into the film room, but then also can take it into their next set of vitamins, because as our offense is built, it's kind of just random, pick and roll, random handler, random screener. Guys taking those developmental opportunities and applying it, I think is super beneficial, especially these next couple of weeks of the season.
Just with Jaren, is the chance he's going to play tomorrow, and what's kind of the prognosis for him?
Yeah, just soreness in his quad that we're kind of monitoring. It's kind of crept up the last couple of games, so not sure what the outlook's going to be tomorrow. Maybe a couple of games here, so we're just going to continue to work with the medical team and keep an eye on it, so we're making sure we're making the smart decision with them. Great, thanks everyone.